Please welcome Chris Ramsey, Executive Vice President, Radian6.
Thanks, everyone. Now, on a completely different track of discussion that we've been having with our customers, you know, you and 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 you have all been asking us at the same time for a simpler experience, an experience that lets me get to those answers more quickly without having to do any configuration, without having to do a bunch of training. You know, the ability to take this and actually give it to executives where they can actually do something with it without having to do a bunch of work to get in there and get to the insights. So today, I'm really excited to announce a new product, the Radian6 Summary Dashboard, that's addressing all of these concerns. All right, and what I'd like to do is I'm going to invite the product manager for the Radian6 Summary Dashboard, Sandeep Singh, to come up and tell us all about it. All right.
Hello.
Tell us about Summary Dashboard, Sandeep.
Hey, thanks. Nice jacket, dude. So we designed Radian6 Summary Dashboard keeping three things in mind. First of all, we wanted to develop a tool that provides a very high-level overview about how is your brand doing, how is your product doing, plus how it's trending over time. We also wanted to leverage of our super powerful and new insights platform and develop something that provides you canned views on all of that information. And last but not the least, we wanted to keep it dead simple so that anybody can get started with it with zero training and zero setup. So here it is, Radian6 Summary Dashboard. And would you like to see it, Chris?
Let's have a look.
All righty.
Take us through it, Sandeep. You knew the question I was about to ask. I like that.
Well, it doesn't require training, but it does require good network connection. Nope. Help.
Okay, let's get her. You work on that.
All right.
Okay, so we're pretty excited about this. Summary dashboard. It's, you know, it's, oh, there we go.
Still
Woo! All right, take us through, Sandeep.
All righty. So, first of all, Radian6 Summary Dashboard is divided into multiple sections, and I'm going to go through section by section to describe what it's showing. So, overall status, as the name suggests, gives you a very high-level overview of key performance indicators around your brands. And let's see how Radian6 is doing, let's say, for the last 2 weeks. Come on. Here we are. So, seems like we received around 40,000 posts, and we saw a big spike. So, our volume almost tripled in the last 2 weeks as compared to the previous 2 weeks. Sentiment. Demographics seems like most of the authors we have. They are male authors, and then gives an overview of what our top influencers are. Then what's trending, what's hot, what's being discussed in context of Radian6 as a brand.
So now, one thing I just noticed on this is the cool thing about these little data cubes seems to be that they're all designed in such a way to show you where you're at today and how things are trending. So where am I at and what direction are things going? So two critical pieces of information you need for each of those KPIs.
Absolutely.
Very cool.
All right, so same story in the volume. So if you want more details around how's the volume doing for your brand, so in this case, you get a very high-level overview of, hey, how's my brand compared to my competitors? How is it doing in comparison to my industry? How is the volume trending? For Radian6, you'll see a big spike around Wednesday last week. That's when the Salesforce announcement came out. What are the most popular channels? Where's the most volume coming for my brand? Breakdown by keyword group. In each case, we try to show percentage increase or decrease over time. Top sources. So who's generating most amount of posts for my brands and products? Same story for sentiment. So all this information is based on Radian6 enhanced sentiment. We see overall breakdown for positive versus negative sentiment. We also see which entities and themes are being liked and disliked in context of my brands and products. Demographics. This is a perfect example of how Radian6 summary dashboard ties into our insights platform. So you see, hey, most of my tweets or my posts are coming from United States. The demographics information, most of the posts are coming from male authors, and 25 to 34 is the biggest age group.
So just before I go on, how many people out there have asked us for demographic support in the past? Yeah, okay, pretty good set. Cool.
All right, top 5 regions. Again, percentage increase, decrease wherever possible. Top 5 languages. And wherever possible, we try to show a textual blurb, a textual summary of basically to summarize the entire section for you. Influencers. So who are the biggest influencers for my brands and products? And you can see total number of posts coming from each type of influencer for each media type. Then details around influencers for each media type. Top topics. So which are the biggest topics being influenced by my influencers? In our case, it's not, well, very unsurprisingly, it's social media. It's interesting to see social CRM in there. Content. So obviously, it's great to have overall trends and overall aggregate numbers around how's the volume doing and whatnot, but sometimes you really need to see, hey, what's being discussed? What are people actually saying? What are the hottest trending topics in context of my brand?
Yeah, so this is pretty cool. So a lot of these cubes are actually built on top of the insights platform that we launched this morning. So you see a lot of the same insights that you saw this morning when Marcel and Greg were drilling into the widgets and clicking down and drilling and drilling and drilling. So you had that powerful analytics platform, but then we're surfacing a bunch of those up into pre-built data cubes in the summary dashboard. So a lot of that's based on that. Now this one here on the top, that actually doesn't look familiar. So trending topics, what's that all about?
Well, it's based on a solution we developed which basically consumes all of your volume, all of your conversations, and gives you the top trending topics. So what's hot, and is it going up in popularity or is it declining? And in our case, obviously the Salesforce news is making big wave out there. We have got around 500 posts for that, and other Salesforce related news out there are quite big.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Sandeep. That's what do you guys think? Is that pretty cool? All right. Oh, cool. So it has our new, it has the new Conversation Cloud built into it as well.
So nice. Look at that, Social 2011.
Very cool. That's real time. And so, okay, so this is really neat. So now this looks really, looks really powerful. Frankly, it looks, me knowing how you typically set this kind of stuff up in the back end, it kind of looks like it might be kind of complicated to set up. Can you take us through how you configure this thing?
Well, it's quite easy actually. So let's say on the top we have different tabs, and it's as easy as clicking this plus sign to create a new one. And all of the hard work is done for you, so it automatically picks your first topic profile from the list. It automatically picks today's time range, and if you change the topic profile, the whole thing basically refreshes. If you change the time range, the whole thing refreshes again. So it's as easy as clicking your mouse.
Cool. So all I have to do is log in, pick a topic profile, and it's done. It's set up. As easy as that. Okay, very cool. That is that's really neat. All right, so thanks. So now, you know, as an executive, you know, one of the things that I typically like to do is it's great to have the dashboard, right? Be able to interact with the data on the dashboard. I typically like to export things, right? Take a snapshot, send it around to people, share it with other people in the office and with partners and customers. What do you got for me?
Well, I've got an answer for you as well. So we have an export to PDF option with which you can export whatever section you have selected on the screen. So what you see is what you get. Plus, we also have an export option for each of the individual cubes. We call these info nuggets cubes, so they can be exported into PDF as well.
Very cool, okay. Well, Sandeep, that's awesome. This looks like a great new product. We're pretty excited. I got one more, hold on. I'm gonna throw you a curveball this time, all right? So,
Yes.
okay, so I'm a Radian6 customer, and literally for years, I have been asking for the ability to take the widgets and take them out of the dashboard and put them in another website or another application. Anyone ever asked for that before? Reusability of the widgets? Okay, so Sandeep, are we there yet?
Oh man, that's a tough one. So yes, we can handle that. And the way Summary Dashboard is designed is that each of these cubes of information, they act and behave as a standalone websites. They have their own unique URL. And just to exemplify what I mean by that, let's open this one into a new window. So it has its own unique URL.
So every one of those cubes in there has
Yep.
its own unique URL, and I can just take that out and I can plop it into a web page and use that cube independently.
Absolutely.
I could email it to somebody, it'll just render on their iPhone or their BlackBerry, that easy.
That easy. So,
Very cool.
And it basically, if you ask it the right question, so in this case, I'm going to change the time range to today, it's gonna give you the right answers.
Okay, well, that's very cool, Sandeep. You got anything else?
Well, yes, so it's HTML4 and HTML5.
I lost me, what are you talking about? I'm an executive, remember?
on,
I
man.
have absolutely no idea what you're talking about.
Do you have an iPad?
iPad?
Yes.
Hold on.
I left you something in there.
I got one right here.
Check it out.
Okay, so what do we got here? Oh, leave it there, all right. All right, so right there,
Right. So it basically will run on anything that supports HTML, including RIM Playbook, iPad, or any of the Droid tablets.
so on day one, when we release this, full tablet support.
Full tablet support.
Very cool. All right, well, that's pretty cool, Sandeep. Thanks for coming up, and I think you've, as the product manager for this product, listening to everyone out there, you know, I think you've done a great job of, you know, coming up with that simple experience. You can give it to executives, you can deploy it broadly across the enterprise very easily, no setup, no configuration. Very cool, thanks.
Thanks, Chris.
All right.